if you really are choosing to do certain things out of what is actually your excitement, your highest excitement, instead of choosing to do certain things from your anxiety, that's what really, in a sense, makes the difference vibrationally, more than the substance itself. Because again, it's all about how you choose to do things, why you choose to do things, what kind of relationship you form with these ideas, more than the substance itself. Now, we understand that your society has imbued certain meaning to certain substances already, and that might be collectively true in general, although it can have exceptions, depending upon the individual relationship you may form with some of these ideas or substances or permission slips or reflections, because that's all it is. Nevertheless, it's up to you to have the discernment to know the difference between when you're truly choosing something from excitement or when you're choosing from anxiety and just calling it excitement because you're afraid to find out why you're anxious. Make sense? When you are actually choosing from anxiety and you are afraid to find out what the reason is, then you will gloss it over, you'll go into denial, and you will feel an emptiness because you are not investigating a part of yourself, you're not including a part of yourself holistically. And when you create that emptiness, you will do everything you can from the outer view to fill that hole. You understand?
Yes.
Or to dull your senses in order to not face the idea of that anxiety. And the reason that most of you do this is because of a particular belief that you have, many of you. And it is this. Many of you are afraid to investigate what those negative beliefs are based on, what that anxiety is coming from, because you have a belief that if you do, and you find out what it is actually based on, what that definition is, such as, let's say, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, non-deservability, those ideas that many of you are fed as children on your planet, if you investigate them, you have a belief, you have a fear that if you find out that that's what the belief is, you have a fear that it might actually be true. I will guarantee you this, it is never true that you are unworthy, never true that you are undeserving, ever. Because if it were true that you were truly unworthy, if it was true that you were truly undeserving, you wouldn't exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. You understand?
Yes.
So the very fact that you exist is proof that you deserve to exist, because obviously all that is believes you must be necessary in order for it to be all that is, and that without you, all that is wouldn't be all that is. Thus, you are important to it, you are valuable to it, you are necessary to it, you are deserving of your existence, because you are a reflection that all that is can't get along without, or you wouldn't exist. There are no superfluous creations. So, if you are grounded in the understanding that your very existence is proof of your deservability, and you start to really know that to be true, then it doesn't matter what you discover as a belief in lack of deservability. You will know it's just a belief. It's just a definition. It will never be empirically, fundamentally true, because it can't be. By definition, because you exist. Do you understand that it's not about doing what excites you because of where you think it'll get you, or specifically how it must be expressed? If that is truly exciting, then act on whatever opportunities in your imagination are available for you to act on in that direction. But you need to act on them with absolutely zero expectation as to what the outcome actually has to be. Otherwise, you're putting conditions on your excitement and actually limiting it and preventing it from going where it could. That's the paradox. You do what excites you for its own sake, and you act on whatever opportunities you can that are exciting. At the same time, we have many times described the idea of how to visualize, how to mock up the reality, but you must understand that these are just permission slips to put you in the state of being that you need to be in. It's not about that visualization specifically having to come true. It's about the idea of doing things and acting on things that are representative of that reality, so that you will allow yourself to go into the state of excitement that is symbolically representative of that vision, that image, that reality. But then you must let that reality, that vision, that specific image go. It's only the state of being that matters. And when you allow that particular visualization or state of being or expression or outcome to simply be a reflection of the excitement, a reflection of the state itself, and just stay in the state and let the specifics go, then you allow your higher mind to bring you whatever manifestation is actually representative of that state of being, which is not necessarily what your physical mind has imagined it ought to be. Because what to your physical mind might seem to be the ultimate, to the higher mind is just the beginning. And if you insist on a particular outcome, a particular visualization as having to come true in order for you to feel fulfilled, you're actually limiting your higher mind's ability to bring you something even greater than your physical mind was capable of envisioning. Create the visualization if you wish. Create the mock-up physically if you wish. In other words, if you say that it's exciting to be performing before the masses, and you do not see any particular opportunity right now by which to act on to do so, then get as close as you possibly can. Let the picture go and just stay in the state, and then let your higher mind bring you the manifestation that is truly most representative of that state of being right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Just remember, visualization, mocking it up, all these things are just permission slips for the purpose of generating the state of being, because circumstances don't really matter. Only the state of being does. Circumstances are determined by state of being. State of being is not determined by circumstances. In other words, if you wish to be happy, be happy. Not I'll be happy if, I'll be happy when this occurs. Because then you're making your happiness conditional on an exterior reality that doesn't actually exist. You decide to be happy or not. Remember, the true measure of change is not whether the outside reality reflection changes. The true measure of change is if you respond differently to the outer reflection, even if it stays the same. That's how you prove you've changed. And when you prove you have changed, then the outer reality can reflect it. But if you need the outer reality to change in order to prove it, it will never change, because you haven't proven that you've changed. By needing the outer reality to change to prove it, you have never changed. Thus, then the outer reality knows you haven't changed and will not change to reflect it. You see the physics in this? It's like a physical mirror, literally. Physical reality is a reflection, shall we put it this way, from your higher mind mirror. It's literally like a glass mirror. If you look in a mirror and you see your reflection frowning, you don't go over to the reflection and force the reflection to smile. It will never happen. And you don't say to the reflection, well, I'll smile if you do first. You'll be standing there frowning forever. But when you decide to smile regardless of what you see in the mirror, the reflection has no choice but to smile back. Do you understand the analogy?
Yes.
Thank you. Is this helping you understand the nature and structure of existence more clearly? Life already works. Everything you need is already here. You will know it when you need to know it. You won't know it a moment before you need to know it, but you won't know it a moment later than you need to know it as well. If you just keep acting on your excitement with no expectation or insistence on a particular outcome, everything you need will come to you in exactly the form that works best for you. That's how it works. If you know that's true, you will experience that that's true. If you don't know that's true, you won't. You see, many times when you understand the true nature and structure of existence, many of your questions just go poof and disappear, because when you hold them up to the structure and understand the structure, you will see what relates to the structure and what's extraneous to the structure, and then you don't simply need that point of view. You will take that little bent over question mark and straighten it out into an exclamation point. We will tell you the 4 laws, if you wish. Number 1, you exist. You will never be able to change that. You may change your form, but you cannot not exist. Existence is the only fundamental quality existence has. That which exists cannot become that which does not exist. Why not? Because by definition, non-existence doesn't exist. Non-existence doesn't exist. Thus, that which exists can never become that which does not, because it doesn't exist. That's the first law. So if you exist now, you always have, you always will. There is no beginning, no ending. Law number 2, the one is the all are the one. It's all the same thing. Each and every one of you, each and every one of us, everything and everyone within creation is just another point of view of the all that is. Everyone is made out of all that is because there's nothing else to make anyone from. Because there is nothing else but all that is and the one. Law number 3, what you put out is what you get back. We've already talked about that because everything is a reflection. Thus then, everything is a variation and a version of something you are giving off, which thus then acts as a guidepost for allowing you to determine what it is you prefer by sometimes also experiencing what it is you don't prefer. Law number 4, everything changes except the first 3 laws. And that's it. Every reality on every level of every dimension whatsoever is some combination of experience of those 4 laws. We have never found another. Do let us know if you do.